Good morning, and welcome to meditation. Wherever you are, I invite you to simply close your eyes and settle in. Just let your body rest. On this Labor Day weekend, as we honor those who labor, take this moment to cease from laboring and simply rest. Allow your body to rest. Allow your thoughts to rest. Allow your heart to open. Allow your mind to fly free, going where it will. Letting yourself go on an adventure within, traveling deep within your consciousness. Knowing that there is no wrong way to meditate, there is only the way you do it. Taking this moment to let go of agendas, of expectations. Let go of planning. Let go of it all. Let go of any idea of right and wrong, good and bad. Just allow your heart and your mind to reach higher and further inward as we enter into the music and the silence together. breathing in, allowing your mind to begin the journey back to center. Knowing that every breath you take is sacred, every moment is holy. Allowing each inhale to bring you more fully present in this now moment. Feeling your body in space. Feeling your feet on the ground, firmly supported by the earth and the universe beyond. Allowing yourself this day to reach higher than you've ever reached before. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and get ready for our celebration service.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together in the name of love.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together in the name of love.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too.
God loves you and I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. Every walk of life.
Every walk of life.
Every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
Kinship we unite.
In kinship we unite.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together. We come together.
Come together
In the name of love. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening.
good morning, good morning. Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and so we all simply come together, whether we're in person or tuning in on our live service, to know and to affirm that love is indeed always the answer. Yes?
Yes.
We gather together each Sunday knowing that we are here as a beautiful community that is dedicated to curiosity, and also that we are dedicated to affirming the truth for each and every individual. I am Reverend Soni, your co-director, along with Reverend Rainbow, who's taking a Sunday off today. So let's say hi to Reverend Rainbow and let her know that we are thinking of her and hoping that she's having a good time. If you are online or if you're in person and you're joining us for the very first time, if you're online, please say hello in the chat. And if you are here for the very first time in person, if you're willing to raise your hand or stand up, we have a gift for you. So do we have anybody here for the first time? Yay! All right. I think Cynthia's running over there to get you a free gift. Thank you so much for joining us. We know you could be anywhere else this morning, and we're so grateful that you're here with us. Know that your presence here, whether virtually or in person, makes a difference. As I said before, we are a conscious community that is committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space and be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are and wherever you are, on your path of spiritual discovery, you are welcome here. We also know that we are a reflection of one another, so find somebody in the room this morning and thank them for being a reflection of you. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. I now invite everybody to affirm with me our vision and our purpose statement. Our vision: we are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community.
Committed to global transformation.
Committed to global transformation.
Through personal evolution.
Through personal evolution.
And our purpose is to wake up, step up, and make a difference. We also have an affirmation. So please, if you should have been texted that affirmation this morning, so please repeat after me. I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
Because I believe in God.
Because I believe in God.
Now I've got a few little things to share with you. Some centers call them announcements. I just call them sharing with you, right? First of all, COVID update. We will not have our youth and family program here for the next 2 weeks. We also need volunteers for our youth. You do not have to be a parent, let me reassure you, to volunteer for our youth program. And it's a lot of fun, and we really could use the help. I'm serious. So please, if you're called to volunteer for this community, make that one of your areas to think about volunteering. And it's only once a month, so it's accessible to everyone. Also, here's the thing. We really couldn't have a program without our volunteers, and we couldn't really have service without our volunteers. And so for all the hands and hearts that come together every Sunday morning, I so appreciate you all, and I think we should give them some love. Yes? Yeah, absolutely. We are also not going to be serving refreshments today or for next week because of the high COVID numbers. And we are continuing to monitor the situation about having service in person. So please continue to read our newsletter and check social media for updates. If you are not currently getting our newsletter, you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. Sad news, Pride has been canceled. It was a very tough decision for the organizers of Pride, but something that they felt was very necessary. So we will not be having a booth, but we will be allowing that donation for our booth to stay. Pride has not been able to have their last 2 Pride events last 2 years, and so we really want to support them. I'm very excited to let you know that our next class offering is Practical Mysticism, taught by myself and practitioner Louise Talent. This is an 8-week online class, and it starts Thursday, September the 9th at 6 o'clock, and it's only being offered online via Zoom. This is a required class for practitioner training, so if you're even thinking about practitioner training, don't miss this opportunity. It is an absolutely fantastic class. We have an amazing group of musicians, yes? Joe Cinquina, our music director. Lauren Dechtenberg on keys. John Dittert on drums. And our vocalist today, Justin Norris. We have Jeff Watts on sound. Yay! So, let's begin this morning by opening our hearts as we move into our centering song and our prayer led by our practitioner, Louise Talent. In this place, my soul is free from the light within. I see all the joy and the peace carry me, oh, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. In this place, love abides, holy light, surrender me, all the joy, all the peace, carry me, oh, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me.
So I just take this moment to anchor into the one, knowing that whatever I call it, it is in, through, and as everything. That one life, one power, one essence, one universal cosmic isness. And in this moment, I know it as love, as joy, as creativity, as abundance. Knowing that whatever is the truth of the one is the truth of me, is the truth of each beloved hearing my voice right here and right now. And knowing that I bless this service. I bless the words of our beloved minister, Reverend Soni, knowing that she is a conduit for the divine. I bless Reverend Rainbow right where she is, knowing she has an amazing, beautiful, divine time this morning. I bless our musicians. I bless all the volunteers. I know that we simply come here in love and as love to see each other as that divine spark. And knowing that, I simply allow it to be by saying, and so it is.
All the
Joy,
all the peace, carry me,
carry me,
carry me,
oh, carry me. Amen. Lauren, would you be so kind as to do our reading this morning?
Certainly. This is a poem by Andrea Gibson. Don't cover your ears, life. There is a boy writing poems in Central Park. And as he writes, he moves, and his bones become the bars of Mandela's jail cell stretching apart. And there are men playing chess in the December cold who can't tell if the breath rising from the board is their opponent's or their own. And there's a woman on the stairwell of the subway swearing she can hear Niagara Falls from her rooftop in Brooklyn. And I'm remembering how Niagara Falls is a city overrun with strip malls and traffic and vendors, and one incredibly brave river that makes it all worth it. Y'all, I know this world is far from perfect. I am not the type to mistake a streetlight for the moon. I know our wounds are deep as the Atlantic, but every ocean has a shoreline, and every shoreline has a tide that is constantly returning to wake the songbirds in our hands, to wake the music in our bones, to place one fearless kiss on the mouth of that brave river that has to run through the center of our hearts to find its way home.
Broken down and tired of living life like on a merry-go-round, and you can't feel that fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. And the silence isn't quiet, and it's feeling like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise you we gon' bring the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet, move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the waves. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise. I'll rise up, rise like the wave. I'll rise up in spite of the age. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, rise like the wave. I'll rise up, In spite of the echo rise up, I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you.
Thank you so much, Ahava Band. Incredible musicians you are. I so appreciate you. Oh, let's take a nice deep breath together, yes? Knowing that we come here today, or we are online today, this morning, seeking to be in tune with the divine. It's important for the musicians to be in tune with their instruments, and it's important for us to be in tune with the divine. And that's why we're here. Even as we are breathing right now, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, we are aligning ourselves with that divine impulse that has brought us to Ahava this morning. That divine presence of good, of love, of joy. Joy may be hard to find these days, but we are absolutely standing in the power of that joy, because the power of joy and love is the power of good, is the power of the one divine essence and vibration that lives itself as each and every person individually. So we come here this morning, we tune in this morning to allow this to happen, to let this happen. To let ourselves, for just a little bit of time, forget about the world. Because the world, we may think that we're here because we want to solve all the world's problems, or we may just want to solve one or two little problems. But the truth is that the challenges of life and the divine are here to meet one-on-one. And to know that we are absolutely that divine essence that cannot be destroyed or changed. That we are that energy of love, and energy cannot be destroyed. But the truth is maybe that's just what got you here. I don't know. But I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you're tuning in online. I'm so happy that we are all in the process of healing and creating a new world together. Because we are here to participate in the evolution of our soul. That's the bottom line. And to begin to understand and to activate wholeness for not only ourselves, but for each and every person in our lives and beyond. You know, in August we spent time resting and rejuvenating and readying ourselves for the next great adventure on our journey. And we begin that adventure this month reaching higher toward a greater understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe, because we are all gifts and we all have a place in the universe. And this month we're taking the opportunity to push past our comfort zones, using our understanding in innovative ways to advance us forward, while including and benefiting from the wisdom and the experiences we've gained along the way. This month, our theme is reaching higher. I want to take a deeper look at our growing edge personally and as a movement, as this community. How are we expanding our understanding and application of our principles to include the collective good of the planet? How are we being called to reach higher and push past or push through our comfort zone? This week, when I was thinking about comfort zone, I was reminded of the sphere of availability. Now, I've talked about this before, and I think it's a good reminder for those who are familiar with this concept that we just, talk about it again, because it seems like it is one of those things that keeps showing up in our world. And for those not familiar with the sphere or circle of availability, let me explain what I mean. Each of us is unknowingly surrounded by an invisible sphere or circle, if you will, of availability. Within that circle, within that sphere, certain things are available to us. Whatever is beyond that circle is not. For example, a hot meal is probably within the circle of availability for most people. A 40-room mansion is not. Many of the things we consider to be desirable and dear to our heart often seems to lie outside the invisible boundary of our circle of availability. Whenever we seek to obtain anything outside our circle, we are confronted by fear. Consequently, many people find it easier to organize their lives in such a way that they never have to confront their fears by reaching outside of the circle. In this sense, if you think about it, our circle of availability could be called our circle of faith. For whenever fear is absent, we are operating within the limits of our faith. This is our comfort zone. The way to expand our circle of availability would seem, or would be logically, it would seem to require an effort of seeking in order to possess our heart's desire. But in truth, the circle is expanded not by getting more, but by giving more. It is expanded by expressing as opposed to possessing. It is expanded by expressing as opposed to possessing. Ironically, that which we are seeking is already within us and only appears to be outside of ourselves because of the illusion of fear. Consequently, the ability to expand our circle of availability is always a function of our willingness to confront our fears. As we break through those fears and express more of ourselves, we will always be rewarded with new experiences that fill our lives with joy and expand the faith of our being. Easy for me to say, yes? But how do we expand and express ourselves to a greater degree with what is happening in our world? How do we find our joy or return to love in a world that seems to be falling apart? The answer to that question is not how. The answer is we must. We must find a way to expand ourselves while at the same time becoming servant leaders to a world that is begging to heal itself. We must become servant leaders. Now let me break that down. Servant leadership is a philosophy and a set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, builds better organizations, and ultimately creates a more just and caring world. A servant leader focuses primarily on the growth and well-being of people and the communities to which they belong. While traditional leadership generally involves the accumulation and exercise of power by one at the top of the pyramid, servant leadership is different. The servant leader shares power puts the needs of others first, and helps people develop and perform as highly as possible. It doesn't matter who we are or where we are in life. We are all leaders. The difference is how we choose to lead. Robert Greenleaf, who coined the phrase servant leader, writes, "Caring for persons, the more able and the less able, serving each other, is the rock upon which a good society is built." Whereas, until recently, caring was largely person to person, now most of it is mediated, think about this, through institutions, often very large, complex, powerful, impersonal, not always competent, and sometimes corrupt. If a better society is to be built, one that is more just and more loving, it has to be one that provides greater opportunity for its people. And I might add to that, one that provides not only a respectful and loving environment, but one which considers safety as important as productivity. For example, there are over 50 Fortune 500 companies that are now requiring vaccinations or weekly negative COVID tests for their employees. This is for the overall health and safety of their employees. This number is growing exponentially. The truth is, our lives have been drastically changed by COVID-19, and we will never go back to the way things were. So the deal is, we have to start where we are. Right here. We have to start where we are, right here, right now. We have all been changed, and it's time to consciously start responding to those changes. I want you to think about this. How many times a day or even a week do you hear someone say, "I can't wait till it gets back to normal"? Yeah? Well, the truth is, in the beginning, I said the same thing. I can't wait till it goes away and we all get back to normal. But here's the deal. History has shown us that when the whole world experiences a tragedy, we adapt to it. We live in a post-September 11th world, a post-AIDS crisis society, and we have lived through many post-war eras. All of these events have altered our behaviors, just like COVID-19, the pandemic has, and will continue to do so. What are all of these experiences trying to teach us? Now is the time. Now is the time to be deliberate in expanding our circle of availability and to walk through our fears if we are ever going to serve the humanity that is begging to be healed. It is about coming together as a community, responding from love, never from fear. It's about organizations that care more for their workers than they do the bottom line. It's about creating new ways to be together. It's about stepping up and volunteering to be part of the change. Whether you are aware of it or not, and Lord knows there's a whole lot of information that goes on every day via the internet. Some of it true, some of it false. So whether you're aware of it or not, everything is changing. Let me give you some more examples. In the U.S., people are leaving their jobs in search of more money, more flexibility, and more happiness. Many are rethinking what work means to them, how they are valued, and how they spend their time. It's leading to a dramatic increase in resignations. A record 4 million people quit their jobs in April alone, according to the Labor Department. People are finding out that families and spending time with them are more important than working 12-hour days or never being disconnected from their job. The great migration to remote work in the pandemic has also had a profound impact on how people think about when and where they want to work, what their rent is, how much they're paying for their homes, what's the weather doing in their area. There's a great migration to different areas of our country. Work itself has changed. The way that we think about time and space has changed. COVID-19 has shown how pandemics force us to consider the value of human lives more than ever. When politicians and everyday people argue for or against quarantines, we are forced to weigh the value of economic effects of shutdowns against the value of human lives potentially lost by lack of quarantine. When people use individual freedom as a rationale for not wearing a mask or refusing to get vaccinated, they are making a statement that their own so-called freedom is more important than other people's lives. This is not freedom, this is irresponsibility. A true servant leader cares about the well-being of others, not just themselves, and works for the greatest good. Everything has changed. Everything is changing. And we are part of that change. And you might ask yourself, or maybe you don't even care, but you may ask yourself, how do we become leaders? First of all, you're already leaders, as I said before, but you have to choose how you lead. How do we become the servant leaders, and how do we expand our circle of availability? You know, we can advocate for peace and justice. Social justice, such as working together to change laws that discriminate or pit citizen against citizen. Fighting poverty, caring for our homeless people as well as our homeless animals. Volunteering at shelters, both human and animal. Sharing quick acts of kindness, and so on. Do something in your neighborhood, such as checking on your neighbor or creating a project that everyone can get behind. Volunteering at Ahava or another community that you value to support its expansion and growth. Doesn't matter how old or young you are, everyone can help. We can all do something. I want to leave you with a story today that I find beautiful, actually. And it's by Reverend Hill Carmichael. And he talks about the lessons from Luke, from the Christian Bible, about the Good Samaritan. In the story of the Good Samaritan, he writes, there are 3 types of people along the road between Jerusalem and Jericho. The first type are the robbers, whose ethics suggest that what is yours is mine at whatever cost. And the robbers will take whatever they need through violence, coercion, and whatever means necessary. These are the people who will leave us physically, mentally, and emotionally beaten and bruised along life's road with nothing left but our shallow breath. The second type of person to walk along the dangerous road between Jerusalem and Jericho is represented by the priest and the Levite, whose ethics suggest that what is mine, and I must protect it, even if it means you get hurt in the process. They aren't bad people, but both the priest and the Levite are deeply, because both the priest and the Levite are deeply respected in their communities. They very likely follow all the societal rules and norms. They probably sit on boards, they pay their taxes on time, and likely coach their children's teams. They also show a great deal of love to those within their immediate communities, but because of what crossing the road to help might cost them, they put their head down and go about their business. So without even recognizing it, they do more harm than good. Their focus is inward, toward the needs of those who are most like them. It is an ethic that leads the good and decent priest and Levite toward a life of valuing their reputations instead of relationships. And it often results with them choosing their own individual rights over the health and well-being of their neighbors. Then there is the Samaritan, whose ethic is love. And along one of the most dangerous roads in all of history, seems to live by a code that says what is mine is yours if you are in need of it. My safety is yours if you are in need of it. My security is yours if you are in need of it. My resources are yours if you are in need of it. My health is tied to your health. My well-being is tied to your well-being. You know, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. preached on this text often and once said that the real difference between the priest and the Levite from the Samaritan is the question that each must have asked. The priest and the Levite likely asked, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me? The Samaritan likely asked a very different question. If I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him? Fear has a way of making us all behave badly. It was true for the priest and the Levite, and it is still true for us today. When fear is the ethic of our lives, we tend to cling to our own safety and our own individual rights. When fear is the ethic of our lives, we retreat, mind our own business, and rarely cross the other side of the road to help. And when fear is the ethic of our lives, we end up placing our hope in mottos like, we dare defend our rights, or don't tread on me, as opposed to love God and love thy neighbor. It doesn't take looking out the window for very long to know that we are all on a road somewhere between Jerusalem and Jericho right now. It's dangerous, yes, out there. The heartbreak and the exhaustion are real. It's not just about the virus, it's everything. It's layers and layers and layers of being beaten and bruised along a dry, hard road these past 18 months. There's hope, then there isn't hope, and then there's hope again. So we have choices to make. Individually and as a community, we can choose to make our decisions with an ethic of fear and for a time Choices based on fear have a way of making us feel safe, but that is fleeting at best. The other choice is to cross the road to help our neighbor, to help our community. When we cross the road to the other side, we'll get a glimpse of something the sages talked about. We will see what transformation really looks like. We'll finally understand who we are called to be. And best of all, we'll finally encounter the humanity we have all been longing for. Today's the day, right here, right now. I invite you to expand your circle and let loose the servant leader that has been living in you all along. Let's go into prayer. Take a nice deep breath with me. Dropping down into that place of infinite knowingness. Knowing that there is only one life, one source, one presence. And knowing that today we choose love. And we recognize that source as the one and only infinite source creating out of itself every minute, every second of every day. We know this source as life eternal. We know it as love. We know it as prosperity and abundance. And we know it as the beauty of the world. And we know it as love, 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 and more love. It is from that place of knowing that I drop down inside myself to that well, that temple of my soul. As I speak this word, this prayer for this community, knowing that as I am speaking this prayer, I am crossing the road. I am crossing the road into that transformation that I long to feel and see. That transformation of love, of hope, of joy, of family, of being together as a community. It is from that place that I speak this word of abundance and prosperity, that regardless or whatever anyone may be experiencing in this community right here, right now, that there's always a greater truth to be known, that we are servant leaders and that we are expanding, even in this moment, our circle of availability. We are expanding. We are all serving at a greater, higher, deeper level than ever before. For love has called us together, not fear, but love has called us together. And I know that that expansion, that joy, takes us higher, takes us into that transformation that all of us have been longing to see, supports not only our individual lives, but all of humanity. I know that right here and right now, anyone within the sound of my voice is that individualized expression of the one. And is now awakening to a world that works for everyone. It's now awakening to the truth, embodying the goodness and the grace of life itself. I know that right here and right now, through this expansion, through this love, all is in divine order. The divine calling us to the healing, calling us to stand in the power of servant leadership, calling us to stand in the power of love, calling us to stand in the power and to cross the road and love thy neighbor. And for this I am so grateful. I'm grateful to know this truth and to speak this word, knowing that all is coming together to fulfill the wholeness of the world. And so I stand in the power of this gratitude, knowing that as I release my word into the perfect universal law, that the law always says yes. It always says yes. It always says yes. Standing in the power of yes, the place of grace, I let this prayer be, knowing it is so. So it is. Now, before you sit down, turn to your neighbor and say the following: today I crossed the road.
Today I crossed the road. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. So this is the time of our giving. So, there are several ways that you can give: online, in person, obviously. You can go to our website and click the give tag, or text the word give to 859-209-6996, or mail in your gifts to 168 Burt Road. But whatever it is, we will take it. So I invite you in this moment to take your gift, your tithe, your offering, and hold it to your heart and give it your own special blessing. And also to repeat after me: divine love as me,
Divine love as me,
blesses and multiplies all that I have,
blesses and multiplies all that I have,
all that I give,
all that I give,
and all that I receive.
and all that I receive.
I joyously contribute
I joyously contribute
to the vision of Ahava,
to the vision of Ahava,
knowing it returns to me
knowing it returns to me
multiplied abundantly.
multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
So grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
So grateful.
Grateful. May you have auspiciousness and records of success. May you have confidence to always do your best. May it take no effort in you being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead with the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get rest, may you catch your breath. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Oh, and may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Mapping your possessions with immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. May you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own each moment to the next. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Oh, and may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the good times we're gonna have. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. You can imagine no matter what your path is. If you can believe it, anything can happen. Go, go, go. Raise your glasses. Go, go, go. You can have it all. And I toast you. Here's to the things that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. to have it. Want you to have it. Want you to have it all.
Well, we don't have our children here today, but let's all know that they are safe and sound and having a wonderful Sunday morning. Don't forget that our practitioners are available for prayer. Please reach out to them. You can go to our website. There's an email there. Email any of them for prayer or call. And also, don't forget to sign up for Practical Mysticism. It's an amazing class, and as I said before, it is a required class for practitioner training. So, shall we all stand and do our benediction and sing out? What do you think? All right, let's do it. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my servant leadership.
Life is in my servant leadership.
And life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I share it.
And I share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
Just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. We want to thank everyone for tuning in online, and thanks to those of you who showed up this morning. If you see a chicken this week, follow it across the road. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. I'll wear my mask and I'll stay 6 feet away. Wear my mask and I'll stay 6 feet away. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.